The new series of Golden Soil arrived this week. The collector's edition are limited to 100 copies, and in looking for a poem in the book to recite today, I thought I'd better find one that matched the colour. This is a tribute to one of the greatest players ever to take the field of rugby league. Not only that, a champion bloke, a wonderful husband and father, and I'm proud to say, a good mate. This is a true story. That Murray kid in headgear, yeah, the one who gives his all, he could probably make it further if he wasn't so damn small. That little bloke who always seemed to turn up when it mattered, the one who scored that brilliant try, but limped off, bashed and battered. He made that desperate tackle in a must-win second half, the cheeky kid with skinny legs and mischief in his laugh. There he is, the right foot step. Hey, tell me that kid's name. I'm not sure how he does it, but he's always in the game. The one who looks so dangerous every time he touched the ball. Yeah, I reckon he could make it, but he's just a bit too small. Gather round the fire, friends, no matter what your clan, and listen to the story of the old Gungari man. It tells a tale of dreaming, one of rising from the hood, believing in the promise and the glow of something good. It sets a scene, South Sunnybank, then takes it up the range to the colours of St Mary's, for a passionate exchange with the All Whites of Toowoomba and a licence to excel. There were whispers on the sideline. He could make the NRL. Yet always in the shadow of that optimistic call was the other line that followed. But he's just a bit too small. So lend the flame some oxygen, sit steady on your logs, give thanks for every blessing. He was signed on by the Dogs. And despite this time of learning in the family of sport, there was something in his repertoire, a thing that can't be taught. It was like this hint of magic in the aura he was gifted, and when he put his headgear on, the world around him lifted. It sparkled in his movement, and it kicked the vital goal, the blood of tribal warriors, an instinct in his soul, something so competitive, a heart that always fights, though his challenges were many in the land of blinding lights. Yes, the fire brings excitement when ignited by its spark, but not far from the brightness, you will always find the dark. Sometimes you have to take a fall and not make an excuse to understand the chance you have to cut your demons loose. And the best of Belmore memories will persevere and linger, though the title ring that came along is on his comrade's finger. Another voice inside his head, it called him to step forth. The time was right to pick up camp and take his journey north, where the lustre of the fire would assume another face in the jersey of a cowboy. Man, it soon became a blaze. A blazing thrill of freakish skill, spontaneous ignition. That skinny kid resurfaced as a rugby league magician. He dummied and he darted. There was genius in his scheme, yet always in the context of performing for his team. He took the line on constantly. He grubbed and he chased, and his effort was 100 every time the boots were laced. They ran at him, they smashed him, then they belted him some more. But they couldn't break his spirit. Yes, he'd bounce up off the floor, then proceed to terrorise him with his courage and his class. Another try connected to that trademark Thurston pass. And conversions bent like boomerangs to ice the situation. Kicking tees returned, confirm a hero's inspiration. Townsville's pride was not denied. The cowboy legend grown. The masterclass continued in the colour of maroon. So many Queensland storylines eternally unfold. So many stirring anthems in a tide of green and gold. So many wings empowered by the jewels in his crown. And when the stakes were highest, he refused to let us down. Which brings us to that moment when his destiny would tell. A kick to win the GF. Hold your breath. He struck it well. A universe of agony rebounded from that post. But beside the cry of torture flew his Uncle Richard's ghost. Believe in where you come from, son. Believe in who you are. He thought about his family. He thought about that scar, that loss a decade earlier had left a gaping hole, and now a second chance to nail a title-winning goal. Connection so much sweeter than the sum of all the others. Triumph then exploded in the warm embrace of brothers. Above that scene of chaos, though, an ancient spirit swirls. He feels the wind of fate. And then he looks towards his girls. Yeah, there's a moment when they're in his arms and all the fanfare scatters. A moment when their love becomes the only thing that matters. Edge a little closer, friends, because this is what it means. When you rise up from the ashes and life's beauty intervenes, humility speaks volume when a champion stands tall. Never let them tell you that you're just a bit too small. And in handing out his headgear, so the fable lifts him higher, because in every heart that feels his pride, it lights another fire. For his club, his state, his country, for his people, just the same. The one who always tried his best. Hey, tell me that kid's name. It is written in the dreaming now for all the world to see, and forever to remember. The remarkable JT.